Ladies and gents, I'm Papa Smoke and welcome to another House of Smoke video. Okay, so yesterday in one of my videos, my dark working videos that I did on the Insanity Puppet, I mentioned something called Wanga, yeah? And I used this Wanga to increase the baneful potential of the work. Let me talk you through what Wanga is. So, as you've noticed by now, by seeing my work pictures, by seeing the videos that I make, the adverts that I make and stuff, I work with a lot of ingredients, yeah? Work with a lot of candles, I work with a lot of oils and powders and incenses and all sorts of kinds of things, yeah? Wanga is the magical energy that these things absorb. So, when we twist a candle with intentions and oils, for example, that candle then absorbs magical energy, it absorbs the intention, it absorbs the imagery and the visualizations we're doing. All of that energy is poured into that candle. Yeah. Once the candle's burnt out, its remnants, so the leftover wax, yeah, contains Wanga. What Wanga is magical energy keyed to the intention of the working. So, I save things such as candle wax, incense remnants and all sorts of stuff like that from workings on purpose. And I have various jars. I'll have like a money work Wanga jar, a love work Wanga jar, a dark work Wanga jar, yeah? And the reason being is I have these different Wanga jars as when I'm doing a spell that requires a bit more oomph, sometimes we can use the combined energy of other spells through using Wanga. For example, yesterday, I added some red and black candle wax from previous dark workings into the bath for the doll. What this does is because it's imbued with dark energy, yeah, this then ramps up the effects of the bath that I sat the doll in, yeah. So what happens is the 4 Thieves vinegar mixture becomes imbued with the dark energy of every spell that wax was used in, yeah, or was present in, yeah, because that wax has absorbed all that work, it absorbed all that spell, absorbed all those negative intentions directed at those hateful people, yeah, and now it's been put in another working where it's seeped out into the 4 Thieves vinegar, allowing it to contaminate the doll further with even more dark energy, which actually ramps up and enhances the baneful effects of the work. If I were doing a money working, same thing, we can use Wanga for that. Love workings, same thing, we can use Wanga for that. With love workings though, try to keep your Wanga separate. Like you might not want to put wax or Wanga from an obsession spell into a honey jar, yeah, and stuff like that, because you might not want those effects to be echoed through the work, yeah. But in a dark working where we're wanting the customer to feel it, to feel the bite, to be ruined by it, to be knocked all over the place, to not know what's come, not know what's hit them yet, dark work Wanga is absolutely great. Now, when you store dark work items such as Wanga and various powders and oils and things that may be pre-charged and contain spirits, yeah, it's a really good idea that you don't store those where you sleep, and sometimes not even where you live at all. If you've got a garage or a shed outside, it's good to store them there. Yeah, reason being is you need to keep your dark work stuff as far away from you as possible. Now, in yesterday's video, some of you will have seen me handle that with my hand, yeah. I didn't have a glove on, don't have any at the moment, gas station don't have any to get. So what I did after that is I had a full cleansing bath and I did a cleanse and a banish like I do after all of my dark workings, yeah. If you let anything from any working, right, especially dark workings, but any workings contact your skin, yeah, you must cleanse yourself immediately afterwards, cleanse everything you've touched, and cleanse and banish your whole home. So cleanse your whole home and do a banishing ritual, yeah, right. This is good spiritual practice. It prevents spiritual cross-contamination. It's good spiritual hygiene, yeah, because what happens, and this has happened to me before as a young Sepoen, so a young initiate, a young trainee, yeah. What actually happened to me before is I did a dark working without gloves, yeah, it's only a minor dark working, yeah, and I washed my hands afterwards and thought that would be sufficient, thought just washing the scent of the oil and stuff off my hands would be sufficient, the oil's gone, the effect's gone, right? Wrong. what happened while I was sleeping is I was having really messed up visions, really messed up dreams, and when I woke and opened my eyes, I could hear the whispers, and it was spirits cussing me out, saying really dark things to me, saying terrible things to me, trying to get me to lose my mind and do heinous things, and also trying to get me to be convinced that people around me and close to me were trying to do heinous things to me. These spirits were basically trying to enact evil onto me because they'd attached to me through me charging and doing up the work, yeah, and not cleansing afterwards, yeah. I mean, they still got the target. They got the target of good, yeah. They really messed the target up, yeah. But they were on their way to do that stuff to me. And then I realised what I needed to do. I thought, right, I need to cleanse and banish. So I cleansed myself immediately. I did a cleansing and a banishing ritual on the whole house. Partner at the time wasn't happy because I made her get out of the bed and take a cleansing bath 2 or 3 in the morning, and we took the bed sheets out and we put them in the washer and put some frankincense, rue, and myrrh oil in the washing mixture with it, just to make sure that everything that I touched was cleansed and was banished. Yeah. So spiritual hygiene is key. Spiritual cross-contamination is a real thing, and Wanga is simply the remnants of a spell that contains energy. Yeah, right. Not just spell remnants though. For example, in voodoo, if you were to use a wand to focus your energies, which it's not usually done in voodoo, but it is plausible, it is possible. I mean, in Obia, they use what they call a staff of Moses, or an Obia stick. These particular items as well, they also become full and charged with Wanga. And if they're used for general use, they should be cleansed after every use. Otherwise, if you use it to focus energies in a dark work, for example, and then you use it, say, anathema, you use it to focus energies in a dark work, for example, yeah, and then you use it for a healing work, a cord cutting work, yeah, the person who you just healed, you just contaminated with dark energies, yeah. So Wanga can be found and be present in everything that's touched your altar and everything that's been used in your spiritual work and stuff like that, yeah. And certain things should be cleansed quite often. Especially if they're going to be permanently around you and used in a multitude of workings. Yeah, pestle and mortar's a great one. It gets contaminated with Wanga all the time. Yeah, cleansed every working. Yeah, but the spell remnants, like I said, leftover incense, leftover candle wax, all sorts of stuff like that, that contains the Wanga of the intention you worked it for. Store it in jars, use it to empower your work. I'm Papa Smoke. This has been What is Wanga. Don't do anything extra, I wouldn't do it, you ain't the right lot. Peace.